So I'm not gonna go into this loads. I'm not one of those people to follow like a live case and then just go live and read over and over. I really like doing full cases. Oh, you're not okay, Elle? I was hoping you feel better. I see a lot of American true crime creators do it where they'll go live and they'll just do the same case over and over again, and then they'll get people in from the local area to like give information. And I just think it's a bit careless because you can't confirm any of that information. You've got like people jumping up saying all kinds of mad stuff. It's not really for me. I don't know if she's in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. Is that true? I've not seen that. I've got live updates here. So I know the FBI are looking to analyse DNA on gloves that have been found. They say multiple gloves have been found. Evidence recovered by investigators looking into Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, including multiple gloves they found in the local area. It's unclear whether authorities believe they've been worn by the person in the doorbell footage. They are trying to analyse that DNA. Kaz, they've not found her though, have they? They're still looking for more doorbell footage. I just feel like I can't shake the feeling that Anne and her husband have got something to do with this. I just can't shake that feeling. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Martine. I saw on one of like the specialist crime shows I watch on YouTube today, a man saying, like an ex-FBI agent saying like, he said some people will get this, some people won't. He said, but this is starting to echo John Benet Ramsey to me. He said, A, the bad investigation. B, this should have been dealt with way sooner and it should have been treated and they should have had the person by now. Not only do you have certain accounts that you can access, i.e. the Bitcoin account, not only do you have him on video footage, not only, like, why are you just today asking for more footage from neighbours' cameras? Like, what? Why did you only just go there today, put up a tent and look for metadata from different cameras in her home, etc.? Like, why haven't you done that already? We're day 12. Like, why haven't you done all of this? It feels like, you know, it was made massive because Savannah's her daughter, but in general, why have you not done more? And why, you know, the chances of her being alive with a pacemaker, with the sheer fear she would have gone through waking up to a masked man like that, plus the fact she's 84, plus the fact she needs medication to survive that she doesn't have with her, plus the fact that someone is going to panic now because not only have you made it massive all over social media, it's the most talked about case right now, but while it's been the most talked about case, the least has been done by the multiple teams working on this investigation to bring her home. Like, since when did we have families going online discussing Bitcoin and whether they were going to make this donate? Like, the police should have way got ahead of this, way got ahead of it. And you've got the FBI involved. And poor Nancy, meanwhile, had been kept on for 12 days, dead, alive, or bleeding because there was blood all over the scene. The likelihood of them getting her back alive now, I just don't see it. It does feel a bit like a distraction, but I feel like this was a cash grab, and I feel like there was supposed to be a ransom. It was supposed to be dealt with very quietly and quickly. Money was going to be exchanged and Nancy was going to be returned. And I feel like the media picked up on it. The FBI, it started trending everywhere, and now they can't just bring her back. That's how it feels. Personally, I think that Anne and her husband, who live on a $675,000 property, may have got in some financial difficulties. They also have, they were the last to see her. They dropped her home that night. And I believe that maybe they were going to try and keep it on the down low between family and be like, right, we need to come up with this money. Suzanne then goes, okay, so Savannah then, and her brother go, okay, we'll pay our share of this £6 million. Then they take the money and they get whoever they got to take Nancy to hand her back. I was thinking to myself the other day, because everyone on social media is going, well, no one knows who this man is. The family say they don't recognise the masked man. Well, if you were part of the kidnapping, you'd say you didn't recognise him either. Do you know what I mean? And the FBI and that will very much be aware of who they're looking at, because we know that most people get kidnapped, it's by somebody that they know. But people were like online, someone said, well, the family definitely don't recognise him. I said, well, if the family involved, they're definitely not going to tell you they'd recognise him, are they? So investigators said they have got several gloves, and they're hoping the person connected to the DNA inside of those gloves has a criminal record, so they could identify him. They made that crazy arrest the other day of the man who was out doing DoorDash with his wife. They arrested that man and then let him go quite quickly. There didn't seem to be any reason or motive behind it, behind the arrest, apart from his car had been in the area at some point that day. But he was a delivery driver. But why would you not even have checked all of that? No, as far as I'm aware, and someone in here can correct me if I'm wrong, there was she wasn't seen being taken from the house. He had taken the camera off by that point. It feels like, yeah, I just feel like they put that tent up around the house today, right, so everyone thought a body had been found, and according to online reports, they were downloading metadata. And they were putting up that tent because they don't want people to see what they're doing, and mainly because they're probably embarrassed. When they found the glove, it just reminded me of the time that Curtis Media went and planted a blue glove up at the scene of Nicola Bulley's crime. Yeah, so he went out and he dropped the glove, and then he reported on it, right, on the videos, and he was like, a bloody glove has been found. And the glove did look like it had blood on it. So we all started reporting on this glove. Oh my God, she was last seen wearing gloves. And he knew the whole time he'd put it there, and it was just to cause like a media storm. Why are you only looking in the paths and trails behind Nancy's home on day 11 to find the glove? It makes no sense. Why weren't you swarming that area? Why didn't you bring dogs in, heat sensors? Why didn't you rule off that whole area on day 1 and 2 of the search? I think they've been so careful on kind of how they look because her daughter's famous, they fucked up this whole investigation. There's nothing they've done right. Why would you only on day 10 get the footage of the perpetrator? On day 11, you're looking for metadata and finding gloves in areas just behind her house. The one arrest you've made is some poor guy out doing DoorDash with his family. You've not got any further ahead of this. Take Anne in, take her husband in, take Savannah, her brother, all of them, take them in for lie detector test. Do that now, because whether they're involved or not, let's rule them out. Let's look into their alibis. Let's look into their neighbours. Let's look into people they hang around with, people they go to work with. Let's look into their financial backgrounds. Let's see who's in debt, who's in loads of problems. Let's get moving now. Let's take their phones. Let me tell you something. If someone's innocent, if my mum goes missing tomorrow, you can come to my house. You can search my house. You can search my knicker drawer. You can take every device from my house. Mine, my children's, everyone. You can take every fucking thing in my house because I love my mum that much. I need you to rule me out. So I need you to come here and look at everything. Look at my ex. Look at my financial records. Look at my bank. There's nothing you can't have access to. Nothing. We had Anne and her husband leave the family home about a week and a half ago, and because of paparazzi, they're both doing this. Right, what are you hiding from? Any kind of attention you can get on your mum being missing, you should be smiling at the media. You should be making them your friends. You should be having them work for you. Every time you're on the front of those newspapers, people are talking about your mum. So what are you hiding from? It just makes me feel like they've created a fucking shitstorm and now they can't get out of it. Now Anne's got a choice. Either let your mum die so you can get out of this, or at some point you're going to have to give her back. That's just how it feels to me. They can sue me if they like. So it says TMZ received a second note from the... I don't even trust TMZ, so I wouldn't trust anything they got handed. TMZ always seem to get handed everything. I don't even trust this ransom note that TMZ keeps saying they're getting. I don't know why, I just don't trust them. Does anyone trust TMZ, or am I being stupid by not trusting them? I don't trust anything to do with TMZ. They'll do anything for a headline. Investigators got a number of leads to do the Guthrie case since she went missing, at least one of which involved a white van. They're like asking the neighbours for security footage 12 days after she went missing. That is crazy to me. 12 days after she went missing. That should have been done. Oh, okay, Fox News. That should have been done instantly. Fox News. Nancy Guthrie. When was it? Was it on YouTube? Wait for videos. I take it you mean YouTube. Because I can't find anything on Fox News on their media site. Fox News. Fox News. Fox News. videos. What's that?
North Carolina state lawmakers holding a hearing on...
A lot of times when a perpetrator is fleeing the scene,
Where am I
they
looking?
may be geared up and gloved up and masked up when they're at the location, but once they flee the location, they may start to discard things out the window of the vehicle, such as rubber gloves. And those are the kind of things that law enforcement is probably looking for on the side of the road.
And the recovery of a black glove could be a key piece of evidence in the search for Nancy Guthrie.
Why does that even make sense? That as soon as you leave, you put all their stuff on, right, because you don't want to be identified, and then instead of taking them off in your own car and getting rid of them in a bin, you start just chucking them out along the side of the road so that people can find them. How does that even make sense? I don't know where they meant to look out the Fox News one. I can't see anything new on their webpage or on the thing. I need more information on it. I feel like people have gone silent. Yeah, so I can't see any. I don't think unless they do something new now. Yeah, Remy, send it to me on here if you can. What are you talking TikTok? You're not leaving anything behind. Why would you go to the extent of trying to cover yourself up just to lead people to you by leaving your DNA on the side of the road and everything else? It makes no sense. Let's have a look here. It just doesn't. Sheriffs asked in the last couple of hours, asked Nancy Guthrie's neighbours to share their security video. Why have you waited that long? Does that not baffle people? Like, this woman has been missing, an 84-year-old, for 12 days, and you're just now asking for the neighbours' security footage. Like, that blows my actual fucking mind. It blows my mind. Until 2 days ago, you didn't even know if you could reaccess the Google memory for her own camera, right? Why have you not already checked all of those people? How would you even know at this time if there was vehicles, men or her seen? I don't get it. What, on here? It blows my mind. If I was Savannah's family, I'd be Savannah and her family, I'd be going fucking nuts by now. Oh, okay, let's have a look. Okay. New video of man with similar backpack just before kidnapping. Okay. I've not seen this one actually. Let me have a look. Oh. I don't think that's him. I don't think it's the same body type. Wasn't the... No, completely different body type. Completely different. The other man was like a bit hench, wasn't he? Like stocky, yeah. Like he was like hench. He was like thicker thighs, bigger built. Unless there's someone else invited. No, the other guy was bigger, more stocky, taller. I'm not a unit. No. I just so it says here on day 12. The investigators say they have no known leads. Helpful. No known leads. They do have 1,000 tips coming over 24 hours, but that will be so many they can't even get through them, and any important ones probably get lost. The Pima County Sheriff's Department is asking neighbours to Nancy Guthrie to send home security footage, vehicles, traffic, people, or anything unusual in the month before February the 2nd. Like, all of this should have been done. You should have had this whole investigation, one team working just on CCTV from that road. Because, you know, we know, sorry, I'm literally really snotty today. We know that this should have been, you would have somebody watching the house. If it was not someone known to her, like family, like Anne and her husband, you'd be looking for somebody who'd watched her comings and goings, saw how her garage door opened, saw if she ever left the back door. There's someone who'd watched her for a few days beforehand, at least probably a month. Why are you just looking now? This blows my mind that they are just asking for security footage now. To have the FBI involved, to have Trump making calls to Savannah, to have all of these higher impact people high up, why is nothing being done unless this is some kind of distraction and they're not actually trying to bring her home at all? They're just trying to flood the news at the same time as the Epstein files are released. That just seems really weird. I just don't know. Those boxes are fucking off so much. I don't know where else to put them. And it should be gone this weekend anyway. It feels really odd. You know what? Every professional I've seen talking about this has said there's something off. There's something off here. This isn't straightforward. There's something very strange here. The guy I saw today, let me see if I can find the thing I saw earlier, because it was quite interesting actually. So it says that 13 hours ago they brought in sniffer dogs. 13 fucking hours ago after day 12. Day 12. What happened to my picture that I had up on the screen? I didn't take it down, did I? Oh, I did play video. To do this on day 12, to bring the sniffer dogs come in, seems just ridiculous to me.
Well, as the days have gone on, the messages and signs of support for Nancy Guthrie.
Thank you, Kirsty, so much.
In this neighbourhood, the yellow roses, signs of affection and hope that the 84-year-old grandmother will return to her home here on the outskirts of Tucson. You can see the police presence here, part of a massive police presence involving FBI officers and
massive police. No, I'm going to try and find that thing I found earlier because I thought it was really interesting. Let me try over this. That's not it. No. Let's see what we can find. Shut up. Sorry. Hayley would have to subscribe to read something. What's this? So Candace Owens has also spoken out saying there's something wrong with Savannah Guthrie, with her family, with this story so far. She said the issue is not Savannah Guthrie. This is a weird kind of political feeling. Donald Trump's getting involved. Other people are getting involved. And it just seems to something's not landing right. I don't know what it is. Something's not landing right with this whole investigation. You know what I mean? I just don't think something's... One of those I don't like, the two that you've just suggested. I don't like the way they do true crime. It's just a personal thing. I've really tried really hard to watch her lives, and there's just something I don't like about it. I've tried really hard. 6 days ago, Donald Trump said things could be coming, things becoming reasonably soon in the Nancy Guthrie case. Like, come on, it's been 12 days. I just think it's a little bit. I really like Brian. Yeah, I like Brian. I really like Brian. No, I just no, Lily. I think everybody likes different true crime people, and I like a lot of true crime people. There's just one that you just suggested. I've tried to watch things so far, and there was something that happened in another case which I just didn't agree with something she did, and then it just put me off. But each their own. I really like Brian. I've always liked Brian.
Hey guys, so I'm outside Nancy Guthrie's house. We just got an update from the Pima County Sheriff's Office, and it's interesting. They are now looking for anyone who lives within a 2-mile radius of Nancy's house who has any kind of video, basically that seems unusual. People walking by, cars out of the ordinary, anything like that. They are asking for those people to submit the video, and if you look at my social media, I have a link where you can submit it, going all the way back to January 1st. Also, TMZ is now reporting that they've received yet another note today. I don't know how significant that is. I mean, it seems like they're getting notes all the time. We don't know if these notes are real or not. One of the neighbors...
I feel like he feels the same as us. Like, I feel like he was so dismissive of the TMZ note then. We know TMZ right back when they were owned by the other idiot. who follows me on here. I always want to battle him and just ask him, like, are you okay with what you did? I feel like he's saying the same thing, like TMZ gets all the notes.
Me that a detective specifically also asked her for video from January 11th between 9 p.m. and midnight, so that seems like a specific time that they are also interested in, but the new message from the sheriff is going all the way back to January 1st. And then something else interesting that I'm hearing from my sources is that investigators working the case don't even know who's in charge, and whether it's the FBI or the sheriff. Wow. Which to me was just really telling. Like, these are people who are actually working the case.
Yeah.
Say that they don't know if it's the sheriff in charge anymore or the FBI, and we don't know either. But there's a ton of FBI agents out here now, but we've also seen the sheriff's deputies also still working the scene. So that's the latest. Hey guys, so I'm outside. Hey guys, so a couple developments here from Tucson. It's Thursday morning. I'm getting my days all mixed up, and I'll get video for you guys later because I have video of a lot of this. But first of all, a tent did go up outside of Nancy Guthrie's house, right in the doorway, where we were able to capture the video early on of the blood on the doorstep. They covered that area with the tent. They went in with like different kinds of equipment. It looked like a camera, and then also like a chart for height, which would make you think that they're trying to figure out the suspect's height based on the video that they have. So the tent was up for maybe an hour, maybe a little more, and then they actually took the tent down and left. So the tent is now down. That's one thing. The other thing is I have confirmed with neighbors that detectives are looking for Ring camera video in the area from January 11th, in the evening on January 11th, which is something new. That's obviously well before Nancy disappeared. We don't know the significance about that date, but it's interesting that they have a specific date that they are looking for video for.
I have to pause it every now and again because I get told off on here. That is interesting. They obviously have some reason to believe that January 11th is significant, that there was like a first attempt, etc. Now we do know. So the owner of TMZ has done some pretty shifty things before. When it was owned by the other guy, what's he called, Perez Hilton, he has admitted to doing things before that have almost led people to want to unalive themselves, just really, really disgusting things. They have really underhanded methods, and they don't check their sources. They also were the ones that put Liam Payne's dead body out in lieu of the fact that he has family. I think it's disgraceful. There's some things that don't need to be done, and some things you need to think about morals and money, and you need to think, oh, that could be my child. I'm not going to do that. You know, it's just it's just not okay.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's just.
So we just need to keep up. There's to be fair. There seems to be, like, it's in the media a lot, but there's not really. I'm not at all, Jamie. I just don't agree with their way. I never have used them for a source in any case. There's like a handful of people that I will never. We don't know Kirsty because they don't seem to have looked, and this is one of the things. We know that she owns a big property. We know that my chair go really low. I was supposed to try and move my back things because my back's hurting. We know that people first and foremost put her husband into the kind of playing field because he was the last one to see her, and then he kind of disappeared from public view. He's not been seen for over a week, and that seems like a really odd thing to do. Well, your mother-in-law's missing, because if you were, you know, the more people speak about you, the more you'd be like, well, I'm going to make sure I'm with Anne at every opportunity. This is my mother-in-law. You're going to come out and be like, I loved her. I had no reason to take her. You wouldn't just disappear. It seems all a little bit strange. It's only in 5% of kidnappings that is a stranger abduction. Now, if I wanted to take somebody because I wanted to make money off someone who's famous, Savannah Guthrie would not be my first choice. Definitely not. I would go for the mother of an NBA player, a mother of a basketball or baseball. I'd go for a pop star's parent. I would go for anyone if I was going to try and pull off that kind of kidnapping. I would also understand that if I wanted to do a kidnapping for ransom, taking an 84-year-old woman with a pacemaker and having medical issues would be the last person I'd want to touch, because there's I don't think you kidnapped her, Lorraine, just because you've got a massive forehead that's bigger than Epstein Island. I don't think you're capable of kidnapping anyone, but what a lovely comment to come in and say. You can't even fucking brush your hair, let alone kidnap someone. You know, it's I just think, why would you? Why would you take someone who you were going to risk was going to die on the spot? I wouldn't even want to wake an 84-year-old woman up in the middle of the night who I knew had issues with her heart, especially dressed in that mask. I'm like going to be like, nah, she's going to die when I wake her up. Like she's going to have a panic attack and die. So why would I then try and take her? You would want to pick like a child if you were a kidnapper, or somebody who's old enough that they would be pliable or easy to take and take from place to place. Like, you've got to think, if you were going to do a stranger kidnapping here, there's going to be 95% chance that Nancy Guthrie is going to die within 2 weeks. I 100% do, Jamie. I 100% do. I think the reason why we're seeing like a slow kind of response, because I don't have big faith in police, right? And that includes American police, right? A lot of American police, especially in these like smaller police departments, they're not great. But I do have a lot of faith in the FBI. I have a lot of faith in the FBI, in their forensics department, in their capabilities. So the fact that we're seeing like it's just been a really shitty investigation done tells me there's a lot we don't know. There's a lot they're not saying, and I believe they're probably closer than we're giving them credit for online. And I believe that if they thought that they have reason to believe that there is an inside job going on, they probably aren't looking for neighbours' footage or into these gloves and everything else. They're probably watching someone consistently. They're probably already aware of all of their financial backgrounds. And, you know, and I imagine, Michelle, there's loads of things like that, isn't there? Why would Nancy open the front door unless it was someone she knew? Do you know what I mean? There's loads of things here that just don't pass the smell test in this case. And it makes me think that there's a lot we don't know. But I do believe whoever is involved is related to Nancy in some way, and they definitely know her. She knows them by name, and just because the person who maybe went there to extract from the property may not be known to her, this was orchestrated by someone she knew. That's what I think. Personally, I think she does know them, and I think it will come out. And I think the FBI know more. The fact they're going back to this particular date, which is the 11th, to look for footage, tells me... So there's... she didn't answer the door. Sorry, I literally was reading a comment. Forced entry. Sorry, someone's commenting the thing threw me off. They took her from her bed. There was blood at the scene, so she obviously struggled.